Hello everybody, my name's Kaimanika, and welcome back to the overview. Not an unboxing, because there's not really anything to unbox. Because today we are taking a look at something I need to build, so rather than doing a whole review or doing an unboxing, since there isn't really anything to unbox, we'll be overviewing it, similar to what we did with Brutaka, and similar to something that'll hopefully be coming pretty soon. Anyways, today we are taking a look at something that, while not like super recent, I'm putting as a Friday upload because it is current. Let's just get out of the way. I'm taking a look at the high-grade GQuuuuuuuX from Mobile Suit Gundam GQuuuuuuX, the Sunrise Kara dual production thingy. This is the start of a brand new line of model kits, and they look pretty neat. I'm not as into these designs as I was for The Witch from Mercury's. That series became a bit of a collecting boon for me. I have, I think 16 of the kits? Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11... I have 14. Excluding, and that's just the high grades of what I have. I also have the, model kits for Soletta and Murine, and I also have the full mechanics aerial, which I haven't built yet. But I'm going to be doing this one first, because I want to get it, I guess, into the collection while the show is running. But yeah, this is the new main suit for the series, and it does look pretty neat. So, right at the front of the packaging, you get your, I guess, what will be a standard for the high-grade GQuuuuuuX line. You've got these cyan, bars around the side, because they look high-tech and sci-fi, and they do look nice. I like how they look. And at the center, you have a artistic rendering of the mobile suit that you will be building, the GMS Omega, the GQuuuuuuX. This is a high-grade 1/144 scale kit. It's from Bandai. It's from the GQuuuuuuX series. This is the age for you to build it, but this video is for adults, so don't get it fucking twisted. High-grade GQuuuuuuX Bandai Namco, and the art always looks very nice on model kits. Anyways, on the side, you get a lot of promotional images of the model kit, a painted model of it, to be specific. That is important to note. You get it in a big hyper pose, a bunch of other action poses, which shows the posability that the kit has, which I guess we'll go over later, and the gimmicks, which shows all the things it can do, as well as all of, the accessory loadout, essentially, though that does include the backpack, I guess. Yeah, the accessory loadout. On either side, you're getting basically just the front render, but on the side, there's a QR code you can scan to go to the Bandai Hobby website. You get another image of the GQuuuuuuX. It's number 1 in the GQuuuuuuX series, which is a very similar label to what the Witch from Mercury kits had, so I guess it's continuing on that collectability. Bandai Gunpla GQuuuuuuX. On the other side, it's the same render, but more vertical. So let's take a look like that. Which is neat. It allows for a different way of stacking the packages. I don't think I've seen any other series do that. There's a number there as well. And on this side, we get the usual legalese on this side, and then what is usually an unpainted look, especially in this corner, but a basic look at the kit that you're getting, as well as the story for the series in this kit specifically, as well as a QR code to go to the GQuuuuuuX website, I guess. But yeah, that's basically it. There's no back of the box. The back of the box is where they put the English release distribution sticker, but otherwise it's just a brown box. But yeah, I'm excited to build this. I'll let you know how it goes after the cut, but yeah, GQuuuuuuX has been a fun series. I might include more thoughts like that later, but yeah, I hope to see you after the cut, and yeah. And we're back. I've built the GQuuuuuuuX, and it's been about like a half a day since then. I mean, it's a new day. I built that on a Monday. Now it is Tuesday. It is a Ma Tuesday. I haven't watched the new episode yet, though. Um, but anyways, um, how should I say this? I've built the kit, and now I guess we're gonna overview the heck out of it. So to start with, we'll go over the accessories. To start off with, the set comes with 2 pairs of hands, a pair of fists that are already on the figure, which we will get to, as well as a pair of these open-clawed hands. High grades tend not to have extra hands, so it's always nice when they do, and these ones are very nicely detailed. They are in a fairly nice plastic color that fits with the rest of the mobile suit. Jeebus. Yeah, they're nice. They're hands, and it's nice to have an extra pair of expressive hands, especially for such a unique-looking mobile suit. Anyways, next up, I guess we will start talking about some of the more normal aspects, I guess. Starting off, the set obviously comes with a pair of beam sabers, so they're a little unique, primarily in shaping. They have, like, this round, like, hilt, essentially. And like the blades attach like here, but they look nice, and they have these little peg holes that go into the back of the GQuuuuuuuX when you're done with it. However, this also comes with their unique blades. Now these are a little disappointing. I love their shaping. They look really nice, and let's plug these on so that you can get the full beam effect. These are nice and unique, and it's good that they have given their unique shape that we get a good set of them. The green is just really pale. It's a lot paler than I expected, because usually the greens on beam sabers are a lot brighter, but this one's a really pale green that I'm not sure I super love. But they work. I hope that we get a similar beam to this in a bunch of different colors. But yeah, you get 2 of those. One to go with each beam saber. Let's talk about the other weapons now, starting off with the surprisingly detailed beam rifle. Usually beam rifles on like high grade kits are usually one of the last things that you gotta build, and like they don't usually have that much part separation, and as you can see, I missed out on some details. I forgot to put the lens in, but that's a sticker. But they have the 3-toned colors that this beam rifle apparently has, even though I don't think we've seen it in the series up to the point where I'm watching. That could change with the episode that came out today. I've only watched up to episode 6 so far, so that could change, and obviously it'll probably have changed by the time you've gotten to, but it's a very nicely sculpted, very nicely detailed, very nicely shaped beam rifle that I quite like. I do like the yellow and white at the tip of the rifle. It looks nice. And of course, you also got to get the shield, which it's a simple design. 2 little white panels on a metallic gray backing. It's got a lot of nice detailing. Again, Bandai doesn't usually skimp out too much on the sculpted detail. Yeah, it looks nice. It's got a unique shape, and I like how it attaches. It essentially just clips onto the wrist via this piece. Bring it in quickly here. Just kind of clips in there. That's neat. I do like that it allows for the hand to stay open, but we're not supposed to see the GQuuuuuuX yet. We'll get there. But yeah, it's nice that we get a shield. Finally, for weapons, probably the unit's current most iconic. It comes with a Heat Hawk, one of these axes that Zaku's tend to use. It's a simple single piece. Sorry for this little bit of flash there. I'll get it cut off later. But yeah, I do like the shaping. I kind of wish it had a little bit more color, but it's nice. Finally, for accessories, we get 2 option parts. First off is this little rocket. You're supposed to attach it to the backpack when you detach the backpack, and it sort of creates like a core fighter sort of effect. It's nice. I don't think we've seen this used in the show yet, as of episode 7, but I could be wrong. Correct me. And finally, we have the non-psycho frame head. This is nice to have. You build up an entire separate head, and I do like that it is a separate option. Um, and it's a lot easier to build, to be fair, than the main head. Um, it does have a lot of nice detailing. It's wrapped around there real nice and tightly. Sorry. And yeah, it just kind of works. It's a good head. But without further ado, let's take a look at the main event. The high-grade GQuuuuuuX itself. First of all, I want to talk about the build experience. It was interesting. It's very much leaning to be, or from what I can tell, it's trying to be a bit more of an advanced high grade in comparison to like a lot of other high grades, especially like the G-Witch kits that I've spent a long time building. It's got a lot more tiny parts and it's got a lot of specific color separation from said tiny parts, and a lot of unique building techniques. I'm glad it doesn't have any fucking words, fucking polycaps. It allows for the overall feeling of the build to feel very nice and very solid, and I just like how polycapless builds just kind of feel in hand. But yeah, it's got a lot of unique stuff. Sometimes it doesn't super work. The head is full of tiny parts, as you can see. Yeah, the head is full of tiny parts, and it requires a little bit of like sandwiching in, which can be a bit awkward to build. But the worst part of the build has to be the stickers. I'm sorry. Color correcting stickers can be fine. And generally on here, the color correcting stickers are okay, even though they are in some fairly tiny parts. So like you can see these little yellow lines here in the torso. Those are all color correcting stickers. I also chose the Pomeranian's mark because I thought that was cute. Yes, the color correcting stickers are fairly fine, but God, these ones are the little pinstripe stickers are so annoying. They have a hard time sticking on to the plastic, but they have way too easy of a time sticking to the paper that it's backed on, to the point where it's tearing that up and it just becomes unusable. They're just so many of them are in awkward spots. I didn't use all of them because I just couldn't. Some of them were just so tiny and so small that I was just like, I can't bother. This is very much a kit that if you can find a water slide decal set for it, or just painting some of those smaller details, do it. Because God, these stickers are annoying. That's probably the worst part of the build. But yeah, it's full of a lot of interesting techniques that just feel very unique. And even still, even with all the color correcting stickers, there aren't colored. It isn't 100% color accurate. There's supposed to be a line on this little wrist armor. All these little gaps are supposed to be white. So that's just something to keep in mind if you are willing to customize it. But the kit here, I think, is worth customizing if you do get your hands on it and if you're willing to customize it, because it is very nice. It captures the GQuuuuuuX's unique design very well. It's got the proper proportions. It's full of very unique and intricate sculpting. It almost feels like a real grade at times, especially with the color separation that is here. It is still impressively color separated, to be fair. It's just that the GQuuuuuuX's design goes so far that it's just kind of impossible to be perfectly color separated, I think, at a high grade price and budget, and like style at least. So it does the most with what it has, but God, I think this mobile suit could really benefit from either a real grade or, for me preferably, something 1/100th scale, because then the smaller details will be bigger, so that means they're a lot easier to handle and are a lot easier to color separate. Like, I imagine like a full mechanics kit for this line could be nice, or like a master grade or whatever. Something 1/100th scale, even though Bandai seems somewhat reluctant to do that for newer kits now, for newer mobile suits nowadays. Hopefully we get something like the full mechanics aerial out of this. But again, this kit is very impressive, in no small part thanks to its articulation. First off, talking about the backpack, there's a swivel there, and then there's a swivel there and there, which allows it to articulate nicely and go into flying poses fairly easily while also staying down when it's on the ground, which is very nice. The head has a hinge and a ball joint at the top of the neck, and a ball joint down here at the bottom of the neck, which allows it to look up very far and look down very far. Very impressive. More range than most model kits get, especially in the neck. The torso also has a ton of range. You know what? We'll go to the arms first. These shoulder pads are on hinges. They're a little bit awkward feeling, but they do work and they do get out of the way. The shoulders, there is a butterfly that allows the kit's shoulders to go forward very nicely. It goes upward all the way like that, very nicely. There is a swivel here, though that is a bit awkward to have activate. It's a bit tight. There's a single jointed elbow here, which is able to go quite far, far more than the usual single jointed range, which is very appreciated. And the hands are on a ball joint, just a single ball joint, nothing too crazy. The torso, there is a ball joint here and a ball joint here, which allows for crunching to get down about that far, which is very impressive for a mobile suit model kit. Back about that far, once again, very impressive. And side to side range to be like that, and there's also a swivel down at that lower layer. There's not a lot of swivel at the upper layer, just to keep that in mind. These legs are on some interesting jointage. There's like ball joints in here, though they are like keyed ball joints, so you have to kind of pull it down like that if you want to pull it out. But they do get some decent range. They're able to kick forward very, very far just because of the design of the hips. They also have to kick backward very, very far. They do hit back flaps, which do kind of get in the way. And I guess the biggest problem of articulation is heading outward, where they're only able to get so much splittage because this part conflicts with the waist in a somewhat awkward manner. And thanks to the ball joints, you can kind of drop down the hips. It's weird. There is a thigh swivel, though it is somewhat limited given where it is. It's able to more get out than it is able to get in, but that's fine. Single jointed knee that I have found sometimes falls off. It's generally fine, but just be careful since it is just kind of pegged in there. But it does get a lot of range. And then what I find really interesting is this foot assembly, because it's just kind of a rocket with this little suggestion of a foot on it. But it does allow it to get some good range. There's a ball joint up here which allows it to go forward, which allows for some forward, some backward, a lot of swivel, and some decent ankle tiltage inwards. And then for more forward and backward, you have this part, which is able to go down all the way and up all the way. So yeah, there's good foot range. Overall, this thing does pose quite well, and it feels good to pose, especially since there are no polycaps. There are elements that feel a tad loose, but like nothing's going to fall off of the kit when you're posing it, I don't think. Maybe the shoulder pads, but even those feel nice and tight. I would just be careful with stickers. Those feel like the most liable thing to fall off if you are posing it and you didn't apply them the best, which applies to me. But yeah, I think I would recommend this kit. I would mainly recommend it to people who have built at least a couple of high grades before. Don't make this your first kit. Kind of like how I don't think you should make GQuuuuuuuX your first Gundam series. This shouldn't be your first kit. You should go for something from like an entry grade, or if you want to go further than that, get like a high grade Witch from Mercury kit, or like a high grade RX-78, something like that. Something that's, while somewhat modern, a lot simpler, I guess, because this is doing a lot of weird things, and like it's very much trying to push the boundary thanks to its weird Kara-based design. And it doesn't super succeed all the time, but it is very unique and very interesting, and I am glad I built it. And I am pretty excited for the Red Gundam, which I believe comes out very soon. It'll probably already be out by the time this is coming out. But as of recording in like May, when I'm recording this, it's not quite out yet. I'm excited for it though, and I'll probably make a video about it if this does well enough. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little overview. It's not as much of a review. If you want me to review this kit, let me know in the comments below, and I'll see what I can do. Don't forget to do all the usual YouTube stuff. Let me know that these overviews work for you for more building-based product. Hopefully around the corner on this release should be a overview of a Lego set. The Cole's Titan Dragon mech, so be excited for that. Keep on the lookout for that. It's another mecha, but from Lego. If you are interested, it's a pretty good set. I would recommend watching it. I would recommend picking it up. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this little video. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye!